Go ahead and call this meeting to order. If everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to our next one. Are there any changes to the agenda?
I have none.
Council? We have a council's approval for the agenda,
I approve the agenda.
and I'll second that. Roll call, please.
Councilman Schindler,
Aye.
Mayor Horn,
Aye.
Councilman Hedgecock,
Aye.
Councilman Vosberg,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to our next item, awards, presentations, appointments, and proclamations. We have one item tonight. It is for our Employee of the Month for March 2024. Yaneth Ibarra, Code Enforcement Officer. Can you meet me at the podium, please? Test, test. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read this out. It says Employee of the Month from the City of Coalinga. Yaneth has been serving as the city's code enforcement officer for the last 2 years now. She seeks out every training opportunity available. She adjusts her work schedule to meet the needs of the city, is proactive in completing her duties, and maintains a complete and accurate records. She stays on top of things, takes initiative, and provides excellent customer service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want to say anything?
You're going to have to, huh?
Okay. Good evening, all. I'm nervous. I just want to say thank you for acknowledging all my hard work and efforts. And I will continue working hard for the community. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item, citizens' comments. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any item within the jurisdiction of the council. Members of the public, when recognized by the mayor, should come forward to the lectern, identify themselves, and use the microphone. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes in accordance with state open meeting laws. No action will be taken by the city council this evening, and all items will be referred to staff for a follow-up and a report. Citizens' comments submitted in writing by 5 o'clock on the day of the city council meeting shall be distributed to the city and included in the record. However, they will not be read. We have any citizens like to come up to the podium? Shara? Oh, you go ahead.
I just had a brief statement for the city council and for the citizens. Honored members of the city council, this is my Coalinga State of the Broadband address. Honored members of the city council, esteemed staff, and the beloved community of Coalinga. My name is Jerry Stevens, and on behalf of Unwired Broadband, I stand before you with profound gratitude and immense excitement as we embark on a transformative journey to revolutionize broadband access in the city of Coalinga. Coalinga, a city steeped in history and resilience, has embraced progress with open arms. From the days of the Central Pacific Railroad to the present, your community has exemplified the spirit of innovation and determination. And now, as we weave the digital threads that connect us, we honor that legacy. Our vision was bold, to provide the fastest broadband speeds on the planet to every corner of Coalinga. We dreamed of bridging the digital divide, ensuring that every student, entrepreneur, and family could thrive in this interconnected world. And you, dear citizens, rally behind us, your voices echoing the very ideals that shaped our great nation. Together, we will bury the fiber optic pathways, pull the cables, place the drops that will pulse with data, carrying knowledge, opportunity, and progress. The bytes we transmit today are more than mere data. They are the lifeblood of our community, the conduit through which dreams are realized, businesses flourish, and hearts connect. As we celebrate this achievement, let us not forget the pioneers who blazed trails before us. Just as our forefathers envisioned a nation united, we too have forged bonds that transcend geography. Our commitment to equality extends beyond the physical realm. It encompasses the digital landscape we now traverse. So, my friends, raise your virtual glasses to Coalinga, the city that dared to dream, that stood shoulder to shoulder with us as we carve a path towards a brighter future. May our broadband speeds be swift, our connection strong, and our resolve unwavering. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, it is for us, the living, to be dedicated here to the greatest task remaining before us. Let us continue this noble endeavor, knowing that together we can achieve the extraordinary. Thank you, Coalinga, for your unwavering support. May our digital highway forever echo the spirit of liberty and equality that binds us as one. That being said, every investment, and this is a major investment by Unwired, equaling $11 million, is a gamble with some risk. But we are betting that Coalinga is a good bet. We will be doing our part to make it a good bet, and we are optimistic that the people of Coalinga will prove us correct. God bless you all, and may our broadband speed soar to new heights. Thank you.
Thank you. Shara, did you want to come up?
Good evening, Council, Mayor, City staff. I'm Shar Thompson. I'm the Central Valley Regional Coordinator with Tenants Together. We are a statewide coalition that focuses on solely on housing and tenants' rights here in California. I'm also a Coalinga native. Recently, I've been working with your constituents in building out and forming the Coalinga Tenants United, which has brought many habitability issues to the city's attention. Within this union, they plan to urge you to be proactive in the housing crisis, not just by building more housing, but ensuring that the protections are in place when the roadmap to displacement ends here in Coalinga. I've had meetings with the city management where the conversations were cohesive and there was open-minded discussions and solutions. On the other hand, I've had a meeting or a phone call from a councilman who was very aggressive and told me that I will listen when he speaks and then wouldn't allow me to get a word in. If your website is incorrect, please feel free to correct me when I read that your standards of conduct state this: council members shall put constituents first at all times, treat others, staff, and public with dignity, courtesy, and respect, value all opinions, be tolerant of new and different ideas, and encourage creativity and innovation. Follow through on commitments and be accountable to each other. I don't feel as though that his actions displayed any of the 5 bullet points, and I would appreciate that in the future conversations that we hold, he hold his actions accountable. If he doesn't like when a constituent is bringing solutions to the table where there are deviations in the city's municipal code, then he probably should find better solutions that work for all constituents. Tenants don't deserve to use padlocks on their doors to lock because they don't have door frame, or the door frames are so swollen from the environment and lack of maintenance of landlords. This town has tons of habitability issues, and I look forward to working with the city to get these homes back where they need to be. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other citizens want to speak? You guys are going to like this one.
Hello, Coalinga. My name's Adrian. I've been hired to manage the Tractor Supply here in town. I've only been with the company 8 weeks, but I got roots here in Coalinga since the 50s. If you guys been around since the 50s, my grandmother, Rose Luna, came here from Puerto Rico. She was a nurse here at the clinic, which is behind this, is no longer there. But my mom and her 6 sisters graduated high school in the 70s. I was here in the 80s. I've been in retail 25, 27 years. It's been a minute. I actually opened up the Dollar Tree here. I opened up the Dollar General here. That's kind of what I do. I open up stores. Now I'm opening up the Tractor Supply. Hopefully, this is my last stop, and I'm back in Coalinga. We're excited. We have been running like crazy to get this store open. Our plans are the 23rd to do a soft opening. Now, this is a construction pending, but we have a lot of moving pieces. Our grand opening, we're planning for March 30th. Hopefully, we could get everybody down from fire, police, and the council members. Hopefully, we get the mayor here to cut the ribbons. I'll be so happy we could do that. We're working on trying to get vendors out to help support the community. I've been working with the animal shelter here to do pet adoptions. We're working on getting a vet here every other week if possible. In all my years of retail, I haven't seen a company so involved with communities. I have to follow guidelines and whatnot, but with proper notice and approval, they really want to be involved in the communities they're in. So we're working on trying to get some things coordinated for the Horned Derbies, because, you know, so many fond memories going there, even bringing my kids. So hopefully actually get involved in the parade as well. Been working with Scott in the Chamber of Commerce to get as many people out and celebrate a good thing. We're excited. I'm excited. So much cool stuff coming. Hope to see you guys all out. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other comments? Seeing none. Council? None? Okay. Move on to our next item. Number 4, public hearings. We have none tonight. Item number 5, consent calendar. We have 9 items. Is there anything that council would like to pull?
Yeah, I'd like to pull the mid-year budget review, which is 5.4. And number 9.
Any others, council? None? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to the first item, 5.4. Councilman Vosberg.
Yeah, I just wanted to get kind of a summary overview. Doesn't have to be a bunch of info, but just as kind of like a summary of what this is when we do the mid-budget review.
Okay. Microphone should be working.
Okay. So a mid-year review is basically a review of the budget at 6 months. So that means from July to the end of December. And by looking at that, we would be able to project and assume how the year will end. And based on what I've seen, we would be ending on a positive note.
So this is just an added little transparency thing for the public, so that, and for the council, so that if we know, and for the staff, so if you guys need to make changes or whatnot, that you can. And will this be something that happens every year from now on?
It will be.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to our next one, item number 5.9, also Councilman Vosberg.
Yeah, I just pulled this item because I wanted to talk about how great a job our code enforcement is doing. I didn't want to say anything during her Employee of the Month thing, but I just am ecstatic about the willingness and the passion to be able to do the job, and the fact that, you know, when somebody reports something, they can usually think that something's actually going to get done about it. I've taken pictures of potholes, I've taken pictures of streetlights, I've taken pictures of all kinds of things with that app, and I usually get a response in short order, and I just want to say I appreciate that, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for no lawsuits. She's got a pretty rough job. She has to deal with a lot of the public, and it's probably 50-50. Some don't like what they hear, and the rest of them could care less. But the ones that she has to actually deal with, she's been able to take care of it all herself. She's done really good. She's exactly what Coalinga needed. Thank you. Okay, with that being said, we have a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second it. Roll call, please.
Councilman Vosberg,
Aye.
Mayor Horn,
Aye.
Councilman Hedgecock,
Aye.
Councilman Schindler,
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez.
Aye.
Okay, we move on to our next item, number 6, ordinance presentation, discussion, and potential action items. We have 3 items tonight. The first one is discussion, direction, and potential action regarding increasing maximum allowable sign area for new signs at Kalinga Ace Hardware located at 109 North 5th Street. Sean.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight, we're here. There's 2 items, all kind of summarized in this one so that we don't have to go through it again on the next item. But obviously, the city has sign regulations in terms of maximum sign or allowable sign area for commercial businesses based on linear frontage of buildings, based on location, certain zoning criteria. And the way the code does provide relief for sign area to the council. So as staff, we have to look at certain criteria when it comes to signage and what's being requested by the business owner and what's allowable based on the sign code. However, the code does allow for the council to authorize a larger sign area through council action. And so tonight, we received an application for new signage or updated signage at the Ace Hardware at 109 North 5th Street. And based on what was submitted, the maximum allowable sign area for that location is 100 square feet. And that's based on it being what we call the downtown overlay district, which is the downtown kind of square. When you look at a map, it's the kind of cockeyed square that that's in that area. And that's so it's a little bit more restrictive in terms of the maximum sign area that's permitted on a site compared to some other areas in the city. And so with that, what was originally proposed, and we did receive some additional information just today regarding some amendments to it. But initially, the proposed sign area was 202 square feet, basically 3 wall signs, and then also including a pole sign. We only count one side of that pole sign for sign area. And so the total requested sign area was 102.15 square feet. At the time of writing this report, but the maximum allowable sign area is would be 100 square feet. And so with that, the code does allow, the owner did request that the council consider an increased allowable signage. The business owner does have now 2 buildings on this site. They've expanded the business, and so when staff was reviewing and looking at the criteria, it's still limited to 100, but we did look at both locations for basically looking at the total allowable signage. And after talking with the property owner, just briefly, they've reduced that maximum allowable, they've reduced their proposed sign area to 100. Did you say it was 156, Carrie? Yeah. Okay. Because they basically reduced the existing sign above the Ace Hardware to the current size. So the one that's on the main building now will be reduced from the proposed 98 square feet to the 46 square feet. So basically, council, the owner would be recommending or requesting a maximum allowable sign area of 156 square feet to include the 4 proposed signs, basically reskinning the pole sign, replacing the existing Ace sign where it's currently at. Then there's signage over the new building for advertisements for some of the brands that they're selling, and then a small Ace logo on the back side of that rear building. So with that being under 200 square feet, even staff would be comfortable recommending approving an exceedance because it's on 2 buildings. If these were 2 separate businesses, they would each be allowed at least a minimum of about, I think it would, based on wall frontages, almost 90 square feet each. So, and with them facing multiple street frontages, it allows them additional signage. So it would not necessarily be outside of the ordinary to allow something like this for one particular business. So with that, I have a lot of detail in the report, but I don't want to have to go through all that. I tried to summarize kind of what the gist of the request is for this particular sign area.
So from what it looks like, you're just replacing the existing sign, and then you're modifying the one on the building, and then adding 2 more to the new section of the building, correct?
Yeah, so we're gonna, the existing signs, they'll be the same size. They'll, the storefront, the existing storefront sign is not.
Carrie, do you want to come up? You can come up.
If you can come up to the podium, that way we can get you on the microphone.
The existing storefront sign is not illuminated, so we're gonna get that back illuminated and then update the logo. And then on the building that we've added, which used to be like a medical technician school, we're adding, that sign you see there, and then a smaller sign, a sign in the back facing Elm Street.
Okay. And it's pretty much this, what's the, we'll go and do this one first. I make a motion that we approve the changes.
I'll second it. I think it's in a perfect time where we're getting retail in here, and, I think that would look good, and, answer a lot of people's questions. What is that building? What is that? So, yes, I think I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Horn,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez,
Aye.
Councilman Hedgecock,
Aye.
Councilman Schindler,
Aye.
Councilman Vosberg.
Aye.
Okay, we move on to the next item. Number 2, discussion, direction, and potential action regarding increasing maximum allowable sign area for new signage at Kalinga Family Market located at 210 East Elm Avenue.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and Council. As you may have noticed, we've had some new signs installed to this particular location, so it's a little bit different situation at the new Kalinga Family Market at 210 East Elm. We had reached out and talked with the property owner during the business license process, and so during our review of the proposed signage, it was determined that the installed sign exceeds the maximum allowable sign area. It is in the general commercial zoning district, which is within the downtown overlay, which is calculated at a half square foot per linear foot of frontage, up to a maximum of 100 square feet. And so I provided all the calculations on how we came to the conclusion and where we came to the total allowable area. Again, this one has a pole sign. And just to clarify, pole signs are, by code, are not permitted in these areas. But these pole signs are what we consider, what we call legal non-conforming. And as long as there's been continuous operation, the signs can remain. We don't make them necessarily remove those signs. And so with that, let me see, I have to go here real quick here. So the consideration for this request is basically approving an additional 4.5 square feet for the sign area for the wall on Elm, and an additional 7 square feet area for the pole sign. This building didn't have wall signage before, so the pole sign itself didn't exceed the allowable area. But now combining both signs, even with both frontages, it's exceeded. So I mean, you're looking at allowing additional signage for the front and for the pole sign, so it's a total of 11 square feet.
Council?
This is just to get them in compliance. It doesn't seem like a lot.
Yeah. This, basically, council action tonight would allow the signs to be in compliance.
Now, is it just for this business, or is it going to be for all business now?
No, this would be just for this business. The code does allow for that relief, and so it does allow us to be able to look at those on a case-by-case basis when there's requests for increased sign area.
All right, with that, any more questions? Okay, with that being said, I make a motion to approve item number 6.2.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Horn,
Aye.
Councilman Hedgecock,
Aye.
Councilman Schindler,
Aye.
Councilman Vosberg,
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item, number 3, 6.3, discussion, direction, and potential action regarding installing an electronic information kiosk at City Hall. Sean?
So this was a future agenda item by Mayor Horn. Staff kind of did a little bit of preliminary. I didn't know exactly what you may have been looking for in terms of a kiosk. We kind of talked a little internally from staff's perspective to kind of see logistically what would work, and then we wanted to hear a little bit more from you. We did provide some examples of some kiosks, whether that's something that might be out in front of City Hall, or whether it's something that we want just on a monitor in the lobby area. So kind of, and then we can kind of determine what information is getting conveyed to the community. But there are some cool kiosks that are out there. So we've met with a couple.
Indestructible?
What?
Are they indestructible?
Yeah, we had those internal discussions too, whether or not, so yeah, keeping them inside City Hall might be a little bit more protected. There's abilities to potentially put maybe an outdoor area that might be able to house a monitor. But yeah, I don't know. We worry about that at the parks as well. So
The kiosk thing is fine. I don't think we're ready for that yet. I think we still need to do some research and possibly doing it through the wall like an ATM or somewhere where it's going to be secured. The reason I was wanting to bring this forward is so we have 24-hour information coming out, both in English and in Spanish. So that way, if people walking by, because there's hundreds and hundreds of people that walk by these windows, and it's just another way to get the information out. The kiosk thing, that one's going to be a little interesting. I know it's pretty pricey. It could cost us anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, just depending on which direction we go. But if we can, I'd like to see what the cost is to get a monitor on each side of the double doors on the window, with one in English with all the information, and then possibly a calendar as well, so that along with the information they know what's going on each day, and then Spanish on the other side. So that way they're not having to wait for 10, 15 minutes for it to rotate through until it switches languages.
yeah, we can definitely do that. And that would just, if council's agreeable to that, that would be something I feel like we could do within our own, I mean, the budget wise, we have to determine where that comes out of the budget. But I think it's within our purchasing power to basically, institute that. We could do that with monitors nowadays are very inexpensive as they used to be. So the only thing that we just wanted to we didn't know what was going to occur is if there's any light or glare issues through the glass. But we can definitely, if buying a couple monitors, putting in some mounts that hang, we'll have to kind of see how that would work. But if that's kind of what you're envisioning and the council's comfortable with that, I think, Larry's a bright guy. I think he can figure it out. So
Now, is it possible to have it has its own computer set up, so that way it's only dedicated to that?
we have something similar at the Public Works office at the yard, where it's got like test questions, it's got, the weather, it's got other things. There's actually some interfaces that we can collaborate with to actually put out that data onto those monitors.
Yeah, if you can-
So
if you can get
we
all
can
that
probably look
information.
at something similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Council have any other questions?
Do we want to set a dollar amount, or do you just want to?
I'd say at least get a couple different options on the cost, on which is going to be cheaper, and I don't know. About
Not
So-
cheap, inexpensive and useful.
So my spending authority without bringing something to council is $10,000, so it'll be under that. So if you want to give staff direction just to find the best option, we can do that. Or if you want us to collect options and bring them to you for you to look at and vote on later, you can do that also. It will be an unbudgeted item. So however much it is, whether it's $1 or whether it's $10,000, it's money, we have money in the budget, but it's an unbudgeted item. So whatever line item we take it from is going to cause it to go over budget by that amount.
So I had a suggestion. Maybe you guys could come up with some ideas and then bring it back so that we could understand like what it's going to do. Maybe even give us like a demo if you already have something like that. Maybe you could take like a short video of what you have in Public Works. That way that we could decide if we wanted to go that route or if we wanted to go something, you know, better or something a little bit not so much. What do you guys think about that?
And just to add, we talked about funding. We still have funds available in the Facilities Impact Fee Fund for modernization, which we've used already for council chambers modernization. This is also part of, you know, communicating with the public and getting that information out to the public. So we have funds available, even over probably $10,000 to do. It's not going to cost that much for just TV monitors, but we can definitely bring back.
This would allow us to at least be able to see what we're getting. Like, what are we going to be able to put on there? Like, what data? You know, that way we have an idea of what. I think we want like a general outreach, but then we want to see like what are the capabilities of it, because we might want to go above and beyond, or we may want to scale it down. But if we don't know, then, you know, maybe we just want to see what, I think we just want to see what it can do.
Yeah, because there's wireless routers that you can get just to be able to shoot all the information to the TVs without having to run a whole bunch of extra cords.
Yeah,
We need to see if there's outlets that are close by, whether we need to have outlets installed.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
That'd be the perfect way for Unwired to, you know, it's a new system.
We're gonna need that gig speed to run those
Nope.
TVs.
But yeah, I think it'll be a good idea. And I know there's a lot of travelers that come here right now, pass through here because of 41. They pass and they want to know the streets or anybody. Gives a map where they at, where you at, where is the nearest thing that you're looking for. I think it's good. It's just like you mentioned, the safety of it. We want to make sure that it don't cost more of, you know, the repairs than anything else. So I think it'll be a good idea.
Cool. Any more questions? Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, Sean.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item, announcements, city manager's announcements.
I have none.
Council members? None? And I have none as well. With that being said, do we have any future agenda items? I think there was one. All right, this one, me and Manny are kind of wanting to know some information on this. Is there any way that we can get information on, in the busy foot traffic areas, getting the blinking stop signs like there is on 3rd and Forest? Is there something we can do to get some of those in the more darker but more traveled areas? Okay. And I don't know how many, so. Okay, other than that, we've got closed session. We have 2 items this evening. So a meeting is now adjourned until March 21st, 6 o'clock. Thank you.